Welcome to the Phoenix Prosperity Podcast, where wealth meets legacy. Join your host, Tim Fergestad, as we explore the journeys of Phoenix's finest to success and beyond.
Hello, this is Tim Fergestad. Thank you for joining us. I'm very pleased to have Robert Conlon with me here today. From Director of Food and Beverage at some of the big hospitality players in Las Vegas to the JW Marriott and Desert Ridge Resort and Spa here in the Phoenix Valley. Welcome to the show, Robert.
Well, thank you so much. Glad to be here.
So you've been here over a year, right?
Yeah, December will be 2.
Okay. And we were just talking about it's summertime. We're recording this in August, and we have a good haboob happening outside.
Yeah, it came down pretty heavy a minute ago.
Right. Did you get caught in the big dust storm?
A little bit, yes. I went to go to Fry's, or Fry's. You guys I call it Smith's. You guys call it Fry's. And when I came out, it engulfed me, and then I had to get on the 101, and it was going about 5 miles an hour.
Right. It's like Mad Max.
Yeah, it was exactly what it was like. That's a pretty good definition.
Wow. Okay. So Robert, I want you to give us a snapshot of sort of the industry and sort of your role there right now at JW.
So I'm the Director of Food and Beverage for the resort. I oversee 2 chef partnered restaurants with Chef Angela Sosa, from the Food Network. We have a tavern, we have a lounge, a spa bistro, in-room dining, and then what really sets us apart is our pool complex. Probably without question, one of the top pool complexes in the state. And we're just about to go into a Labor Day weekend where it's just going to be absolutely bananas.
Right.
Fireworks galore. So it's an amazing property, lots of fun.
Nice. I've been there before with my wife. It's been a few years now, but for a fine dining, and it was like a wine pairing experience up there and stuff. It was good. It was a good event. I usually go there for golf. Right.
Yeah, 2 golf courses, 16 pickleball courts.
16
pickleball courts. So there's definitely something for everyone. But the golf courses, they're pretty spectacular as well. So we're very fortunate to have such an array of things to do.
I think I golfed my fastest round ever there on the Faldo one time with my dad. We were paired up with some single who was in a hurry, and we went through, I think in about 2 hours, we golfed 18 holes on Faldo.
Was it hot? Because usually when it's hot, people get moved a lot faster.
Right. I don't think so.
No.
It was, I don't know. It might have been summer-ish because there wasn't a lot. And you can't go fast if there's people on the course. So
right.
We were like, what's this guy's hurry? But we're quick golfers anyway. I mean, back when I was golfing, it helps when you golf well.
Do you golf well?
I used to.
Okay. I never have, but I tell people that I do.
Yeah, you have some great ones there. You don't have a lot of excuses. You gotta get your reps in, get some time out there.
I guess. I mean, you hit the ball over here, and they're like, okay, and then you hit the ball over here, and then you just tell everybody it was a 4.
Yep. So, how's Phoenix shaping up to Vegas? How long were you in Vegas?
20 years.
Okay.
Yeah, 20 years in Vegas, 15 on the Strip. Similar. So, I mean, similar climates, similar in terms of the scale is different, though. The speed of Vegas is different. And even it felt like it was a little bit of a time warp when I came here, because the things that we were doing here, we had already done. So it's like, you guys are trying that out. Yeah, that's
isn't that cute?
Yeah, talk to me in a couple of years. I'll tell you what. So
that's part of being the director, right? You know better, and you can save them some grief.
We can. I think we've done some of that, but sometimes you just got to figure out some things too, and different cities. So there is definitely a different climate for some things. But in the hospitality world, especially in a property like mine that is a resort, you're going to run into a lot of similarities, just because people travel from different locations. So you kind of get a hodgepodge, and we're going through it now, and it's been a fun ride.
Sure. I imagine this is a little hectic and crazy than being in a big player. I don't know. You were was it the Wynn or the MGM Grand system?
So I was with MGM Resort. I was with Wynn for a little while, but mostly MGM Resorts. The last one I was at was Aria. And
Nice.
we are the largest resort in the state of Arizona. We have almost 1,000 rooms. Aria had over 4,000 rooms. Um,
Right.
and it never shut down.
Right.
So it'd be 2 in the morning, and it's still
Hopping.
pandemonium. It's always somebody's morning there in Vegas, whether it's people from the Far East or people from England. Everybody's on a different time zone, so it really is a place that doesn't sleep. So to come here and be able to kind of just go to bed, it's
Okay.
been nice.
Nice. Yeah, a little less demanding on the
Right.
schedule. Okay.
Unfortunately, yes, a
Okay.
lot less demanding on the schedule.
Okay. Okay. Before I want to ask what the misconceptions are about that in the industry and the things that people may not realize about what you do. But you must have a couple of crazy stories or two from where do you have a highlight or two that our listeners might enjoy?
uh I'm trying to think how like what down the rabbit hole here I want to go with stories. There's I mean, I guess you could talk about there's always somebody. And sometimes you just don't know who they are and you're conversating. So one time I'm in the back of the house at Park MGM, and I'm just talking to a lady named Stephanie, and she's a nice lady. She's got her bags, and she's like, "Can you get me through here?" I'm like, "So we walk her back," and then she walks away, and then they were like, "Do you know who that was?" And I was like, "I don't know, just some lady." And they're like, "That was Lady Gaga," and I was like, "Oh." Oh, okay, yeah, that did look like her. So it's just a place where you just never
Right.
know who it is. A Prince of Benai, or some
Sure.
sultans there.
Right.
Always
Yeah,
it's
that's
always
wild.
something. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah, it's fun to sort of rub elbows with all those. Okay. Very cool.
It was fun when you don't. It's fun after the fact. I mean, because if you would have said, "Hey, that's Lady Gaga," then I'd be like, "Oh, I wouldn't know what to say." I'm like, "Oh, like the music,"
Right.
but when it was just some random lady standing in the back of the house, you're just having a conversation.
Right.
Um, so.
Right. You can compare your trumpet Tony Bennett trumpet tattoos or something. Okay. Okay. So okay. Tell us a little bit about the industry. What are some things people don't maybe realize about the food and beverage industry, particularly in
Yeah,
these resort hospitality sectors?
I think the one thing that I think a lot of us fail to remember is that we really just have one basic product, and in that product there's all these different varietals, kind of like wine where you have a Cabernet or Chardonnay. With us, and the only thing that we really sell is fun, and everybody has a different style of fun. So I can go look at my pool, like somebody could sitting at the pool reading a book. That could be like the most fun they've had in a long time. For me, that's the most boring thing. I want to ride the slides, I want to jump in the pool, I want to, do all these things. But it all depends on the person. So when we figure out how to just have fun, when we just go through the motions, that's when we can really start to drive the business, right? Because who doesn't want to buy a product from somebody that doesn't love the product that they sell?
Right.
But
Right.
at the end of the day, that's it. That's all we do. Like nobody comes to stand in line. Nobody comes to get their food made wrong. Nobody comes to get an expensive drink. They just come to have fun. And when we find that, and that's what we do the best. I think of anybody in the city is just find a way to have fun.
Okay. Is that hard to enforce amongst the team?
I mean, yeah, I think it was. You got to have some. We call it mullet, like party in the back, business in the front. Like we like to have some
Okay.
fun in the back. We play some practical jokes. We do some things, but then when we get out on the stage, you have to still be, gotta have a smile, but you still have to be professional. You can't
Okay.
have too much fun. I think that's when you can get in a little bit of trouble. So,
Okay. Okay. Yeah. It's nurturing the right culture, I imagine.
but without question.
Okay. Okay. And uh, there's a lot of that in Scottsdale. There's Phoenix's destination. It's not a Las Vegas, but is there I don't know if it's competition, but it in the space, right? You guys compete for at some level, right?
Yes.
Is the food and beverage industry pretty friendly?
Oh, friendly for sure.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to go to somebody else's restaurant, try something out. You learn things by going into we call it research and development. Just going to see what other people are doing. We have the three big competitors, the three big resorts. I guess you have the Biltmore, Princess, and then us are the big ones. And Westin Kierland's a nice sized one. But yeah, you love to go see what they're doing. You want to take something that they're doing and saying that's awesome. And if we did it just this much different, it'd be even better. Or I just saw this and I'm gonna combine it with this and we're gonna bring this to life. So yeah, I think we're all in good spirits and good friends for the most part. I think because at some point this world, there's people here that are some of the resorts that I worked with in Vegas. It's just one of those businesses. It's a small world, so you just
Right.
never know who you're going to work with, and you never know who you're going to work for. Like there's a good chance that you may work for somebody that worked for you. If you stay in it long enough.
Right. Right. Okay, good point. So you mentioned like the Kierland one. So I was just in Scotland this summer, and they have a Scottish tasting room, that whole library, right? Do you guys have any niche or a focus there at the JW?
So we have our bourbon bar, which is some of the
Ooh.
just bourbons that when I came out here, I was shocked to see just because they're so highly allocated. Some of the Pappies, some of the Wellers. We had a Pappy
Oh,
25,
Pepe's.
which I'd never even heard of before, and that's what I do for a living. And I was like, wow, I've never seen this. So we have that bourbon collection that's fantastic. Then we have our restaurant, our Asian restaurant bar that has a large Japanese whiskey collection, and then Tia Carmen. Those are our two specialty restaurants that has an agave collection. So you're definitely going to be able to find something if you come to the resort.
Okay, excellent. Now you also mentioned the pool. Can you tell? I know we're talking shop at the and
Right.
and the Marriott stuff, but I didn't realize that it was the biggest pool system.
Yeah.
And
I don't know. I don't want to know if it's the biggest, but it's absolutely the best. So we have three slides, and these aren't like slides that you find at Disney World where it's like woo woo woo. These are industrial size slides with water tubes, and we have a lazy
huh,
river, 7 pools, 30 cabanas, over 1,000 seats, private island, hot tub. So I mean, across the board, it's without
very
question
cool.
the best. Yes.
Okay,
And it rocks in the summer. It's the place to be. Um,
okay, excellent.
without a doubt.
Okay, Robert. All right, so changing pace here.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about the challenges you've had in that career or in the industry, maybe?
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's customer service is always going to be demanding. The hours, especially in Vegas, 24 hours a day. You can definitely burn yourself out in this industry. Most of us, we probably are a little different anyway. We Most of us have ADHD or we're some kind of something that made us get into this high energy,
It's
high
fairly, yeah,
demand.
frenetic. Is that the word? Frenetic?
Yeah, I don't know
Hyper,
that. Yeah,
crazy
yeah,
high
that's a good word.
energy, right?
It is. I mean, if you were to take two restaurants and tell a restaurant manager or somebody to say, here, one restaurant I'm going to pay you $5,000 more than the other one, but the one that pays less is twice as busy. Almost everybody's going to take less money to go to the busier restaurant, just because we just get bored. And when we get bored, we get in trouble. And we get in trouble, we have to start looking for a new job. So
Okay.
it's definitely it's the crazier it is, the more we want it, but the more we want it, the more of a toll it can take on you.
Okay.
So
Okay. Yeah. Well, in that industry, right? I don't know if being a director is the same as a different positions when you're managing the shop, but they have um, demanding hours, right? Late
yes,
nights, right? Can, that that
yes.
that's not conducive to a morning round of golf anyway. Before it heats
Now
up.
late night holidays. I mean, we throw the party that everybody gets to. So when you join this industry, you're working New Year's Eve, you're working Labor Day, Memorial Day. You're just there. Now, on the flip side of that is you get tremendous deals when you do go on vacation because they're never in the peak time. So, we had a crazy 4th of July, and then I went out to San Diego, and it was like, man, they're basically giving these rooms away. We got the whole hotel to ourselves. So, you can look at it any way you want. I just like to look at it in the positive.
Okay. Also, is it hard to be around super good food and beverages all the time?
Yes, it is. Especially, I'll say the hardest part is just watching other people enjoy it when either you're hungry or you're thirsty, right? You see a group of guys sitting there watching a football game, and you just think back to your buddies, and you're like, man, they're having a great time. I wish I was doing that.
Okay.
I think that's the biggest challenge for sure. Is there is some envy sometimes.
Funny.
Yeah.
Do you have culinary training, or even sommelier level stuff? Is that good or bad?
It's for sure. It's fantastic. Anything you can do to add tools to your tool belt.
Okay.
Because in the hospitality industry, especially food and beverage, there's just so many different styles of service: fine dining, specialty, casual, QSR, Starbucks, and then bars, lounges, high level bars, sports bars. So I think anytime that you can just go in and learn as much as possible. So there's sommelier training. There's 1 through 4. There's Cicerone, which is 1 through 3. Culinary. I was a cook. I don't know how I became a cook. I think I got in trouble. And they were like, "Hey, we were down somebody. Go back."
You're
there.
promoted.
Yeah, exactly. and then I realized, like, every time I would get in trouble and I had to go cook, was kind of correlated with a chef's vacation. So I started to realize I got to stop getting in trouble.
Funny.
So
that's kind of how I got promoted in the restaurant industry. I was busboy dishwasher, and then somebody didn't show up, and I got to go work the hoagie bench and pizzas. And then one day my big break was when one of the kids didn't come in to deliver pizzas, and I got to go take the parents' car and go deliver pizzas, and that's where the real money was.
That's where it is. It's still that's I started off as a busser and busser, server, bartender, and like I said, somehow in the back of the house, and then I traveled around opening up restaurants, and then eventually it's like, well, let me go to Vegas, and the rest is history.
Okay, but there's something that I was you said made me think of this too, though, is that it's all businesses, when the owner operator of the business used to work in the business, they struggle to work on the business, right? Like chefs in restaurants in particular, right? Yeah. They have so they hire somebody who's not a chef to run the industry or the business because they can see it from afar, and they don't get caught up and try to go in the kitchen and fix things.
It's funny you say that. Like, I don't like food, and I don't drink. So I'm like a double whammy of what you wouldn't think. Okay. But at the same time, I love operations. I love the chaos.
Perfect.
But I also have no preconceived notion of what should or should not be on a menu. It's just, what do you want as the guest? What are you looking for? And so we go out there and we just give them. We don't cook for ourselves. I don't make drinks for myself. I make it for the people that are across the way. And if they're saying, I don't like this, okay, cool. Let's try something else.
Sure.
So,
okay. So, Robert, let's talk about goals. If maybe professionally, personally, have you done anything recently that's sort of changed the way you see things?
I wrote a book.
You wrote a book. Nice.
Yeah. I wrote a book, I didn't think I would ever be able to write a book for 2 reasons. One, I can't follow through on anything. I have severe ADHD, so I start a million things, and very, very rarely do I follow through. And 2, I'm dyslexic, so battling through that. But now with the technology, there's with AI and everything else, it just helps you. Like, sure. I would type something up, and then I give it to AI, and it'd be like, I don't know what you're trying to say here. And I'm like, well, this is it.
That's probably great for, that's how you dial it in really well, is in those revisions.
Yes, I mean, it was for a very long time. It was literally like, do you get it? And then be like, nope, let's try this. And I'm like, no, that's not what I'm trying to say. Let's do it. I type it up again, and it'd be like, oh, okay, yeah, that's terrible. We're not going to say it. So, but we went. So I wrote a book, and it was just a book. It was called called Everyone Saves the iPhone Box, which when you put a title like Everyone or No One, immediately somebody comes up to you and they're like, I don't keep the iPhone box. I'm like, I get it. It's a metaphor. You do hold on to something that you shouldn't, that you don't know why you still hold on
Those
to.
Those boxes are nice.
Yeah. You're like, I have them. I talk to all these people and they're like, well, I go, why do you keep it? And they're like, well, I don't know. I mean, I was like, have you ever used one? It's got
little accessories sometimes in the bottom I might need later.
Yeah, exactly. Or I might have to return it, or I don't know. But I thought of it, and then I moved, and I when I was unpacking, there was the box again. I was like, why don't I? So that's the genesis of it. Was just we all have something that we've just in our life that we've just held on to for far too long.
It's not big enough to make you get rid of it, so you keep hold of it. There's not an inciting incident or level of discomfort associated with it to make you take action.
So just if you ever write a book, don't put the word everybody or nobody or just because. That's I learned that.
That's cool. Was that like you never thought you were gonna, or what inspired it?
I said, no, I never thought I would do it. So, like I said, with dyslexic, you just like I couldn't write sentences correctly for a long time. I could read, I could do everything else, but like just pen to paper was always a challenge. But I had stories. I could tell stories all day long, and I could put together metaphors that were to kind of make things happen. Everybody's like, you should write a book, and I'm like, I can't. And we were just in a chat, like with your friends. I'm like, chapter 1, don't do this, and we just started going back and, chapter, feedback isn't a gift. I don't and then we just started like bouncing ideas, and that's how it came. It's 50 chapters of, what it's like in real world corporate America, what it's like. Don't do these things that we did, that set us back, and understand that the world is nothing but patterns. If you can figure out the patterns before everybody else, you're going to be just fine.
Okay. Excellent. So looking back on your journey, what do you wish you would have known sooner about being successful in your career?
Yeah, I guess, I mean, there's two things I'll tell you, and these people, when I tell people this, they sometimes don't like it. And it's hard to hear, especially if you work for a corporation. But the first one is, if you work for a corporation, you're not that important. And once you realize that, because I was like I said, I was a busser.
Everybody thinks they're irreplaceable.
They are. Every single person thinks, and you go through that. You get to a point. I moved up. I became a director of Mirage, and I felt like I was king of the world. I was Mr. Hot Stuff. And then our corporation went through a huge layoffs, and 500 leaders got let go, and every single one of them. 500 leaders.
Wow.
And I didn't get let go, and I was shocked I didn't get let go. And then all the people that got let go were shocked that they got let go. And the reality was, the next day, and not even the next day, at 12 o'clock, they let us know that the layoffs had concluded, and we went back to work. And it was some water cooler talk, and people were wow, but the business just kept running, and we just moved on. And so at that point, I realized, I'm to the corporation, I'm not that important, but to the people that I work with, to the team that I manage, to interact with, I'm very important. But I had to let go of some of this bravado that I shouldn't have had. Sure. And then I realized that there's other things. I gotta go take the time off with your family. We'll figure it out, right? There's those type of things. And then the second one is, I think, development. I think myself, and especially younger leaders, is they believe development is this magic word. And the real truth is, the only real development is self-development. Like to develop, nobody's going to just give you a playbook and say, here it is, and this is how you're going to be successful. You have to go in, you got to put in the long hours and the hard work. You got to go make some mistakes. You got to work for people that allow you to make the mistakes. And then right. you got to just go and do it. That's the true development.
And even if somebody sees your path before you and has a playbook, you don't want it, you don't see it, you're not ready for it at the time, right?
Or it's just, it doesn't affect it, or it happened to him, but it won't happen to me, and then it happens to you, and you're like, I'm okay, different. Yeah, exactly. You're the same person that's like, hey, if this plane crashes, I'm going to be the one guy that makes it. Like, that's just the mentality of us sometimes.
Right. Right.
And there's sometimes, though, it is watching somebody make a mistake and be like, yeah, I'm not ever going to do that.
Right.
That one was rough. So
right.
Those are the two things.
Thank goodness we can learn from other people.
Yeah. Well, if you can. I mean, like you
Right.
said, sometimes
Not always,
it's
yeah.
hard. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Robert. If people would like to connect with you or learn more, what can they do? Where should they go?
Well, I'm at Desert Ridge 5 days a week. I'm on LinkedIn.
Okay.
Robert Conlon, I think. I don't know. I think for the longest time I had the wrong Desert Ridge on there. I'm sorry, I had the wrong JW. So there's JW Desert Ridge and there's JW Desert Springs. So when I changed my LinkedIn profile, I put Desert Springs and I kept getting all these people calling.
It probably auto-populated as you typed it, and you're like, that's right.
Yeah, I didn't know there was another one.
Yeah.
How many deserts are there out there? So for the longest time, people are like, "Hey, we're coming to, I'm in your lobby." I'm like, what are you talking about? So yeah, LinkedIn, or just come by and ask for me at the resort.
Okay, very cool. All right, excellent. Well, thank you. Thank you, everybody, for watching and listening. Thank you very much, Robert Conlon, for joining me today. Very much appreciate you sharing your story and your insights into success and the food and bev industry. That's very cool. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm sure it was a little bit of a train wreck because I know.
It was great. Thank you very much.
Inspired by our guests? Visit PhoenixProsperityPodcast.com/guest and join us on the show and share your success story with Tim. The spotlight awaits.